Purchase your CashPot, lottery tickets, play games all day, and cash out your winnings up to $300,000 from Supreme Ventures at Duncan's Complex and Entertainment, located at Main Street in Duncan's, Trelawney. Telephone 876-954-7786. That's 876-954-7786. Duncan's Complex and Entertainment, making winners every day.
Introducing Montego Bay's best kept secret, spicy restaurant and sports bar in beautiful Greenwood. Enjoy karaoke, open mic, live band, and a breathtaking rooftop view. Savor their great tasting food and beverages along with great entertainment. You simply have to ride the mechanical bull. Watch live sporting events. Spicy restaurant and sports bars at 7 Greenwood at the border of Trelawney and St. James next to the stoplight. Telephone 876-633-6356. Open 11 a.m. every day except Mondays. Visit Spicy Restaurant and Sports Bar and enjoy the flair of Jamaica.
It's going to be bigger and better this year. The Agape Christian Fellowship in association with One Community Church out of Texas, USA presents Rock the City, Bring Back the Love. It's going to be Thursday, April 11, 2024, time 6:30 p.m. The place to be, Water Square, Falmouth. Water Square, Falmouth, Trelawney is the place to be. Yes, featuring Faith International Harvest Church, Agape Christian Fellowship, Shekinah Temple Ministries, Pastor Junior Roberts. Yes, you can't afford to miss Mr. Gotti Gotti, the musical doctor, Dr. Michael Godfrey. DJ Chinny will be on spot. Yes, you can't afford to miss for the first time the one and only sensational Prince Saj. It's going to be at Water Square, Falmouth. I did say, yes, official media sponsor, Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. It's a Reverend J and Doss event.
My neighbor. But here at yard and abroad, yeah. Good morning, my neighbors. Good morning. How the choice. Greetings. Retired corporal. This is from Sergeant Wayne Wallace. He never misses, and I'm going to tell you, remember everybody's birthday. Retired Corporal Norris Williams over the Duncans. Good morning, Retired Corporal Norris Williams. We're celebrating with you today. Patreon, darling. Hey, Patreon, good morning. Patreon and I worked together at the Half Moon for years. My goodness. Hi, Patreon. Good morning to you. And Wayne Wallace would have been there too before he became a police officer. It's a long time. What about? So, Patreon, enjoy your birthday and all of God's richest blessings to you and your family. Mr. Chris Goldberg of the Montego Bay, Miss Ines Agnes of Loyalsville and St. Catherine, and Miss Geneva Fletcher over there in Hanover. Wow. Today, I tell you, man, you April people just buzzing out on me this morning. Miss Tricia Samuels over there in Savlamar, how you do? And Mrs. Sandra Bellanfanti, yes, today in Montego Bay. Wow. All you April people. It's so great. It feels good, not you? Celebrating your birthday today. So if I didn't call your name, and you're celebrating your anniversary also, wishing you all of God's richest blessings and wishing you the best. All right. I see greetings here from Jay. Good morning. Could you please send birthday greetings to Shani Cromaz and Tina Jones in White House in Westmoreland, which is coming from CJ and Melanie. All right, so let me see now. Birthday greetings to Shani Cromaz and Tina Jones in White House, Westmoreland, from CJ and Melanie. Wow. Enjoy your day, my people. Enjoy your day. And me tell you, all you April people, I know it's a spillover from March. So, but that's fine. That's fine.
Sing you a song from morning to night. Betty call that summer song. Sing you a song from morning to night. Betty call that.
876-478-9144. 876-513-6668. Those are the numbers direct to the studio here at Fit FM 96.7. If you wish to speak to Nurse Bihari this morning, or yes, you can just send your voice notes, and I'll be more than happy to read for you some of the questions you might have this morning for Nurse Bihari right here inside Morning Connection on Fit FM 96.7.
Gentle Touch of Care Home Health Services. We believe in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me, Jody Marie Bihari, Monday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on Fit FM for a gentle approach to a healthier you. That's 8 a.m. Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Jody Marie Bihari, I'm ready for you. Jody, it's been a while. But I got to there and sleep, because I don't want Judy to ask me anything about my blood pressure. But I've been monitoring.
Take it this morning, Julia?
No.
So how you know it's all right, Julia?
Just because I feel good.
No, and you see, that's what it is. I'm gonna hit on.
I
this
know,
morning.
I
have
know.
it written down, Julia.
I know.
So many times we
Yes.
tell ourselves that if we don't feel like we're not okay, we
Yeah,
are
right. Yes.
And that's one of the cultural things
Yes.
that I've noticed about us Jamaicans.
Yes.
Once we feel like we can't get up and we're not in any pain,
Yes.
we're all right. And
Yes.
it's not true.
Yes, it's true. Because I remember you telling me, your blood pressure can be up there all the time. Then your body
Adjusts to it, and then
you're in my headspace every day, Jody.
I'm happy to hear that, Julia. That it's been so long, but the memories are still there.
Yes, and it's been so long, and listeners are still asking questions. So that you've created an impact of the period.
I am happy
that
to
you're
hear
here,
that.
and I'm so happy that you are back with us to you took some time off because you were doing some reshuffling and movements and adding new services. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Julia, it has been a roller coaster
Yes.
ride, and I mean, one day I'll share the story because it's not all great stuff. It was really some
Challenging.
stuff that literally licked me to the floor,
Wow.
and I wasn't able to function. I wasn't able to take of my business. I wasn't able to my patients. I had to take a break to recharge.
Yes.
Come back, because if I can't, same thing I
Yes.
preach in Julia. If I'm not okay, I can't take care of nobody.
Exactly.
But it was necessary, and I'm happy we are here and we're back, and we
Yes.
are ready to even make a greater impact. And I'm
Wonderful.
hoping we can do that.
Good. So tell our listeners, first-time listeners, and of course, or first-time listeners and listeners who are aware, who are familiar with you, just to recap, tell us, what is a gentle touch of care? What is this? What is this feature all about? Every Monday morning at 8:00.
All right. So for every Monday at 8:00, we've dubbed it a gentle approach to a healthier you. And that's coming from our organization, which is a gentle touch of care. And or a gentle touch of care organization is a nursing service organization. Everything that we do is nursing care centered. So our training program, we have a training school where we train persons to care for people. We have our home care service where we go into the patients, residents, and we care for them. And we have our assisted living, or what we call now our adult care facility, because we're not just taking care of the elderly anymore, Julia. We're now taking care of persons who have mental illnesses, mental disorders. Once the hospital says they're stable, they're on medication, then we find a suitable environment for them and we care for them, which is a very, very, I was very hesitant towards it. But having gone through my experience,
Yes.
and I now know what I have to offer. So sometimes you don't even know what you have to
You
offer
have to go to the
until
fire.
God gives you
have
the
to go-
process
That's right.
that takes you
You
to
to the-
where you
Mhm.
need to be
Yes.
to impact the lives that you need to impact.
That's
So we are now caring for those clients.
Yes.
And it's a very rewarding experience because you see people move through the processes
Yes.
of healing in a way that is different.
Mhm.
It's not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's
That's right.
spiritual.
That's right.
And I'm always emphasizing that we need a holistic approach to our
Yes.
healthcare.
Mhm.
And oftentimes we fail to miss out the very important parts,
Yes.
how am I feeling?
Yes.
How am I spiritually,
Yes.
and it has a lot to do with your physical well-being, because
Yes.
if your mind is not okay, then your body doesn't get to be
Exactly.
okay. If your
That's
mind
right.
tells you, oh, I'm tired, I want to sleep in bed today,
Right.
or I'm feeling down today, I don't feel like I want to do anything,
Right.
it stops your physical process, because then
Yes.
you don't get up and eat, you
That's
don't get up
right.
and walk, you don't get up and do anything. You're just slumbered in one position, and then you become non-functional.
Yes.
And that's not good for anybody. And God never created us to sit and slob in a
That's
bed or
right.
a chair
No
all day.
way. No way. No way.
So
No way.
that part of it has been almost revolutionary for me personally. But the lives we're able to impact is really, really rewarding, and we're looking forward to see how that goes. And we have a team with us that we're building. We have counselors coming on board locally and overseas. So there's a program that we're going to be doing where persons can actually set an appointment through our organization, and they get connected with whichever person can deal with their situation or their conditions better. And these networks, I just want to thank God for them, because it's not out of self, but it is just people who said, hey, I
Yes.
see where you're offering this, I have this to offer.
Yes.
And so we don't end up with the wrong people just in there for the sake of, we have this service we want to offer. Any of your clients want to buy it? It's not like that. And that's how I know it's not just a haphazard service that just comes on board. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm always very, very strategic about how I do things. I don't like to just align with people just for the sake of aligning with them. I like the idea that we can truly impact people's lives. So that's where we're going with that. So we have the adult care facility.
Yes.
And I dare to say facilities because that's what we're hoping for.
Oh, okay.
In the future. You have to speak it into being.
Of
I'm
course.
learning these things
Of
too, the
course.
manifestation of these
Yes,
things. We're
speak it to
speaking
the
them into being.
universe. Yes,
We want
speak
to
it
be
up.
at the place where we are able to offer this in every parish. And you've always heard me
Yes,
say that,
yes.
Julia.
Yes.
I mean, but we need to make sure that, as I say, all the
Yes.
things are in place to get us there.
Yes.
So as we offer these new services, I'm really looking forward to what God has for us in the future, Julia, and we want to continue impacting people's lives.
I love the home care.
Yeah.
I love
The
that.
home care part of
yes.
it, I've heard people call me, Julia, and I say, oh, we can't afford this. This is too expensive. Hey, guess what, guys? This is more than affordable for what you get. I mean, there was a relative just last week. She was saying, I don't know how to repay you because the person who we're caring for is in Trelawney.
Yes.
Their relatives are not here.
Mhm.
And there was running up and down. There was no family member.
Yes.
And there's like, nurse, can you arrange this for me? Can you get somebody to go look at daddy in the hospital? Can you go do this?
Yes.
Can you ask somebody if they can get to the pharmacy and stuff for us?
Yes.
And we find that in our home care setting in Jamaica,
Yes.
people think that they're paying for a housekeeper, which
that's the mindset.
That's the mindset.
of-
and we have to say to them, what we're offering you are skilled nurses
yes.
with a skill RN
Yes.
with enough experience.
Yes.
And so that we can attack the problems as they come.
Mhm.
And the other part of it, Julia, I always tell you that this is the dearest part to me, is helping people have quality of life even in dying.
Yes.
And that part of it has not changed. We've
Mhm.
had 2 experiences since this year already,
Wow.
where there were clients who were literally at the stage where they
The
cannot
end of-
get better.
The end of life.
The end of life care.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that they're not dying alone in a
Yes.
hospital bed.
Yes.
We want to make sure that they're comfortable.
Yes.
If it's to give them something to drink, or a spiritual leader can come in
Yes,
and have
yes.
them transition. We had an experience like that not too long ago, less than a month ago.
Mhm.
And their spiritual leader came in and they were able to
Yes.
have that
The
moment, the
devotional
devotion and the prayer and stuff.
Yes.
And to tell you the truth, it was shortly after that client died,
Yes.
like within hours.
Yes.
And that for me is
What a
far
big-
more valuable.
Yes. What a
That for me is
peaceful
far
way
more
to go.
valuable than having somebody suffer by themselves, taking their last breath in a lonely place with a bunch of people they don't know, and nobody to say goodbye. And and every time I talk about this,
Sometimes
I keep
it's just just that feeling that
Just that
feeling
feeling.
that someone is
I
there.
said to somebody the other day, if a prisoner gets to have his last meal before he's hanged, why is it that we don't think that it is humane for us
Yes.
when we're going through pain and agony and suffering to have those last few moments
Yes.
be great?
Yes.
It is quality of life,
That's right.
and that's what I advocate
Yes.
for. And I'm on a mission. I tell myself I'm on a mission. I don't know if you listened to my live last night, but I was on and I was saying to people, this quality of life thing
Yes.
is something we should aspire to.
Mhm.
And no matter what happens in life, always aspire for that quality of life. It's
Mhm.
not being boastful. It's not spending a bunch of money.
That's right.
But it's having peace in every aspect of your life. So physically, mentally, emotionally,
That's
spiritually,
right.
financially.
Mhm.
And that's a part we don't talk about much because our finances affect everything we do.
Everything.
And I had this conversation with my sons. Me and my sons always debating. That money is not a privilege. It's a need. It's a necessity. Because if
Yes.
we don't have it, and we've been taught in our society that money is a privilege. It's not a privilege. It's a need.
Mhm.
It's a necessity. And until we see that, then we'd recognize that we need it for everything in our lives. We
Mhm.
need it to be healthy. We need it to be sane.
That's
Sane
right.
more than
Yes.
everything else. Because
That's
if we
right.
can't pay our bills, if we
Oh
can't do
my
what we
goodness.
need to do, then we go
That's-
crazy.
Exactly. That's all you're
Right?
thinking about. How am I
That's
going
all
to do
you're
this?
constantly
That's
thinking
it.
about. So
That's
there's
it.
no value to your life when you're constantly in anxiety, and in
Right.
panic, in worry about what's going to happen later, what's going
Mhm.
to happen tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And as I said, it's just so interesting that the more knowledge you gain on these things through experience, experiences through life is the more you realize that, hey, I need to use these experiences and help other people. So it's not just health in terms of your physical well-being, but the holistic approach.
Wonderful. I want to thank our viewers and listeners on Facebook, YouTube, and friends who love Fit FM 96.7. Thank you on those social media sites. If you need to ask Nurse Jody a question, 876-478-9144, 876-513-6668. I noticed that you just come you have your post out now, register now, practical nursing course.
Yes.
How is that going? Because you just finished one session.
Yes.
Let me see now. A semester.
We had one
also.
semester just done. We had a bunch of students do exams
Wow.
in February.
Yes.
What's been happening is there's been a shift, everybody knows, in heart. So
Okay.
we've had some delays in terms of how we complete because of these shifts.
Yes.
So we're still partners with Heart Trust.
Okay.
And so our students still do the final exams with Heart, even though they complete our program differently,
Mhm.
right? So whether or not they finish the Heart exam, once they've completed our course,
Yes.
we certify them.
Yes.
And some of them start working with us. Some of them work with other organizations.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, even though things went crazy, there were people who still wanted to partner with us.
Mhm.
So we have some very good partnerships now with
Wonderful.
organizations that need our nurses because they
Yes.
see the quality that we produce, and so they will call us, nurse, do you have anybody who can fit into this? That is also Julia helped us to diversify our training, so we now have specialist training going on for some of the nurses. So once they're finished, then we get
Yes.
to help them. So for example, they want to do scrub nurse. So for example, they
I
want
have to get you a headset because I think I have a caller.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, but I have to get you a headset so you can listen. I'm going to ask your caller. Please call back in just a few seconds. I'm going to get Jody a headset so she can hear the conversation, hear what you have to say. All right, so just please call back in just a few. It's 19 minutes past 8 o'clock. Nurse Bihari is with us this morning from A Gentle Touch of Care Home Health
Services
Lord
and
Jody,
Training Institute. Yes.
Lord Jody, it's
Yeah, I know. We've made some adjustments a bit to that, Julia.
yes.
So for if you want to get to us, to any one of our organizations, we've made some splits, right? So for our school, our training institute, it's AGTC training. And that's on all our social media platforms. That's on our website. It's agtctraining.com. And then you can go there and find out any information you want on the training school and also on the specialist courses that we're now offering. So if you're already a practical nurse and you want to specialize in an area that is specific to, say, for example, a doctor's office that you want to work in, and you want to get that training and certification in that area, then we can offer that training for that specific area. So it could be ophthalmology, it could be surgery, whatever that is, then we will be able to do that for you once you contact us.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so 876-478-9144, 876-513-6668. That means so we're inviting you. You can call us. You can call. And and nursing, the practical nursing training is offered, so you can register now.
Yes.
Register now for September class.
Well, we have a class starting in May. We have a group.
Oh, we're in April now. Oh.
Yeah, we have a group.
Oh, May.
Next month.
Right,
We have a group
May.
starting in May, and we have persons registering from as early
Oh,
as
this is-
December
And
last
this is
year.
9 months. Yeah, the course is 9 months.
9 months.
Okay.
And we also offer it online now. The first group we started late in January. and they seem to be doing okay. It's our pilot program, as in straight online until it is practical areas.
Yes.
And then we assign them to the different areas that they need to go in order to do their practical experience. So you can be in Manchester and be doing our course online, and we can assign you to the areas. So what we're doing is building partners in the parishes that we have, or our students, and then they can go to the doctor's office, they can go to the infirmary, they can go to the health centers, and they are able to do their practical experiences.
Okay, we have a caller, and this person was calling. So, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Julia, and good morning, Jody.
Hi, morning.
Okay, you have to turn on the radio in the background, please, because we're getting a feedback. So just turn it down, so we can hear you clearly. All right.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead for me, please.
Yes. What I want to find out. I have a pressure machine, and sometimes when I check the pressure, I will check it 3 times, and it gave me 3 different readings. Sometimes the last reading is is lower than the first 2 readings.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking,
All right. So
And the
how?
pressure machine, it is in good condition because I take it to my doctor and she said it's working okay. So I don't know.
All right. So how much time do you give yourself before you check each one?
3 times.
No. How much time? So between the first and the second, how much time do you give
Pardon
yourself?
me?
Between the first and the second time, how much time in between do you give yourself before checking it again?
I'm not hearing you clearly.
Okay. She's asking. Every time you check your blood pressure, you say you do it 3 times. How much space you give? How much space you give between? Huh? Can you hear?
Sometimes I don't. Yes, sometimes I don't give it any space and I just
You
take
just do
shortly
it
after.
short, right? Bam, 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 right after.
Yeah.
But you have to give it.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
she's
okay.
saying. You need to give some time. All right.
All
Okay,
right,
go ahead,
so-
nurse.
So let me make it as simple as possible, right? I think I'm going to give you the same explanation I gave Julia, right? We're gonna use the water pipe, right? You know,
You clearly. I'm hearing Julia clearly than I'm hearing you.
all right. Can you hear me any better now?
Yes, just a little.
All right. So what you need to do is give yourself space. It's like when you turn off the pipe and then turn it back on, right? It's going to give you a completely different reading each time because the pressure changes in your blood vessels. So you have to give yourself time. You can't do it and then just do it right after that, because what's happening now,
Okay.
yes,
Yes.
is that you
And, yeah, look at the pressure. It is 100 and maybe 106 over 69. Is that okay? Because my doctor said it's okay. So is that okay? Yes, I am.
all right. So we would consider your blood pressure controlled if that's what you're getting. Now, if you find that
Yeah.
with that reading you start having dizziness or you start feeling weak, then probably it would be too low for you. But if you feel okay, then that normal would be good for you. While normal may be good for
Hello?
you, it may not be good for somebody else.
Okay. So what you're saying, is it normal then, or what?
Yes, it is normal for you once you're not symptomatic. And what that means is once you're not
Okay.
feeling any signs or symptoms of being abnormal, like you're not getting the dizziness, you're not getting the weakness, you're not feeling as if you want to go lie down, and you're functioning normally, that's good for you.
Yes. And another thing, which is the danger number, the bottom or the top numbers?
All right. So that's a good question. All right. We consider the danger number the bottom number, because that is the
Okay.
regular pressure that flows through your blood vessels when you're walking around.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So if the bottom
And,
number
yeah.
is just extremely high, you know you're in danger.
Okay. And another thing, sometimes it's the blood pressure fluctuates. Sometimes it goes up. When I say goes up, sometimes it goes up like to 150, maybe 54 over maybe 80 or 84
Mhm.
and things like that. It fluctuates up and down.
All right, that is normal. Fluctuating blood pressure is normal because you're not constantly doing the same activity.
Yes.
Sure, you're maintaining good diet every day, you're hydrating, you're taking your medication
Yes.
on time, you're exercising, you're not stressing over everything, because we as Jamaicans, we stress about everything. The light bill due and we know it need to pay,
Yes.
and we start stressing, and then you start getting a little headache and you go check your blood pressure and it's high, and you say, Lord Jesus, my blood pressure high. But it is very situational because it is very situational because you are worried, right? So it is going
Yes,
to be high,
yes.
right? So it's
Yes.
not a matter that there's
Yes.
something wrong with you at that point in time, but it's very situational.
Yes. And another thing, when I'm at home and check the pressure, sometimes it's normal. And when I go to visit my doctor, and I was sitting there, and then as I hear my name called, I just see my heart just going to my chest, boop, 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 and then
That is very normal, darling.
And then-
I mean, that is very normal.
and then when the doctor checked it, she says, "Why your pressure so high?" What I do, Jody, I have a book,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
them with her, and the pressure is so high.
That happens to more people than you know. It's, darling. I mean, like that.
Pressure.
Yes, it does. Yes, anxiety,
Because of
worrying
the-
like that. Yes, but for you, darling, something you're gonna have to deal with mentally and emotional. You know, if you're a spiritual person, singing some songs helps to calm you. And another thing that works on the nerves, which is a Jamaican remedy, is some sop tea. Right? Sour sop tea, even drinking or eating sop itself, that helps to calm your nerves. But you yourself have to relax, and you yourself have to find something that calms your spirit so you don't get anxious. Because I know how anxiety is. You start worrying about something,
Yes.
your heart beats fast, your blood pressure goes up, you start feeling like the world is against you, but you have to control that mentally and emotionally. All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, darling, and thanks for calling. What did you say your name was?
Pardon?
What was your name?
My name is Wendy.
Oh, Wendy. Thanks for calling, Wendy.
Okay, we thank you very much for calling in. And we invite you to call in, call in and ask questions. Call in and ask questions. And if you want to be, there's so many aspects of a gentle touch of care. Oh my goodness, you see, Nurse Bihar is always on me with my blood pressure. But there's an instrument right here at studio.
Yes,
And
that's
I'm-
good, Julia. Use it, Julia. Use it. We need it. We don't want it to just be here. We want you to use it. And actually, Julia, I think it is a essential equipment that everybody should keep in their
Yes.
house.
Yes.
And whether you have high blood pressure or not,
Yes.
this can prevent situations where people don't know they have high blood pressure.
They don't
and
know the
then
numbers.
They don't know the
know
numbers. And just as it's important to know the numbers in your bank account, it's important to know the numbers in your body.
Yes,
What
yes.
numbers are your bodies giving off?
Yes.
And we encourage people to, if you don't have a machine and you don't know how to get one, you can call us. I mean, we'll make sure that you have a good one too, because sometimes I know during COVID we had a lot of mass production of equipment, and some of them that are out there, they're cheap, but they're not all accurate.
Mhm.
We found that in our practice. We bought a bunch of them that we thought was good, and they're not very accurate. I mean, they were on sale, so
Yes.
we're thinking, hey, they're on sale. We need a bunch of them. We're
Right.
gonna buy them, but then
Right.
we keep realizing that. I mean, you put the batteries in there, use it for probably an hour or two, and then they go.
There you go.
So using the right equipment is very good, and knowing your numbers, that's so important. Julia, happy you said that.
Yes.
Knowing
yes.
your numbers, and the numbers are not just your blood pressure. The
Mhm.
numbers are a number of things. It's your weight. It's your it's knowing what your BMI
You're
is,
right.
and we
Your
can
body
help
mass,
you with
yes,
this.
yes.
So another thing we're doing, which I'm never quite ready to tell you about yet, Julia, but let's just do it now.
Yes.
We want to do something we call Wellness Wednesdays, but it's not just Wednesdays, it's Wednesdays and Thursdays, so we need to fix the name. So anybody can come into our office where we are now. We're currently at 9 Market Street on a Wednesday or Thursday. And we chose Wednesday because everybody's in Falmouth on a
Wednesday. Right.
right? And Thursdays a little calmer day
Yes.
after the storm. So persons who don't want to be out in the hustle of, or nurses, check your blood pressure, check your height, your weight, see what your BMI is. We are not doctors. Bear in mind, we are not doctors, we are nurses.
Mhm.
And so we will give you the advice. And if we think you need to see the doctor, we're going to say, hey, go see the doctor,
Doctor
now.
now. Yes.
We can make recommendations, but
Mhm.
we want you to come in and we want you to know your numbers.
Yes.
We want you to know what's your BMI, what's your blood pressure, what's your blood glucose level.
Yes.
I mean, some persons wait until they have the dizziness or they're losing the weight or the overweight before they decide to go check their glucose.
Right.
But your numbers are very important.
Mhm,
If you don't know what it is, and I say we as Jamaicans, we have these crazy things. If I don't know, it's not gonna hurt me. It's stupidness. All right. It's not knowledgeable. It's not acting in common sense. Because if you don't know, it can hurt you. Pressures is known as the silent killer because of that. Because we are not checking our numbers and we don't know our numbers. When it gets out of whack and we find out we had a stroke,
Oh, you hear
that's
this
when
person.
we know
Oh,
our
when you hear the
numbers.
news, that person died suddenly.
Suddenly.
Or didn't wake up.
It wasn't
Or-
a sudden death. I'm telling you, it wasn't. Because we don't emphasize the importance of knowing our numbers.
Mhm.
We walk around as if everything's fine.
Right.
And it's funny enough, Julia, a lot of young people,
Yes.
lot of young people
Yes.
are being diagnosed with hypertension.
Mhm.
And it happens so weirdly because somebody driving and they block out, somebody at work and they drop
Yes.
down. I've heard it a lot, especially with these hotel workers, because they're so overworked. They work long hours and they don't get
Yes.
breaks.
Right.
And drop down at
Yes.
work, or this is what's
Yes.
happening, and then you find out they have hypertension.
Mhm.
I have 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old telling me their blood pressure is 180 over 100.
That
And
is-
that's crazy.
That is hospital.
That's stroke walking
right,
around.
Right. That is hospital bed business.
You know, and then we have and then they do these weird things to themselves, Julia. Oh Lord, I had a girl tell me, I said, you're killing yourself. And she says, why do you have to be so harsh? I said, the reality of it is you're killing yourself. So they have these high blood pressures, they're going parties and they're drinking and they're doing all this stuff and they're staying up 2, 3, 4
Right.
o'clock in the morning.
Morning.
And then the next day they can't go to work. And it's like, why are you doing this to yourself? They're killing the kidneys, they're killing the liver, they're killing everything inside them, and then they say, "Oh, me only have one life to live." Seriously, you can actually enjoy all these things in life
Yes.
if you put preference or urgencies on the numbers that are important.
That's right.
Get the numbers right, and then you can enjoy your life,
That's right.
and it can be a longer life. And
And you noticed, but one of Jelani, believe me, we're hitting the hundreds. It's like nothing.
yeah,
It's like nothing, and then we're
And you
hitting
want
those,
to
those
live-
numbers.
You want to live a quality life,
Right,
Julia. You don't want to
right.
be. You don't want to be in your 80s. and
Mommy,
walking
my
around
mother
with a
is
stick.
my mother is 92, and mommy's a hot girl.
I saw her last Saturday.
Right, this is
She
mommy
looks so good.
I know.
She looks so
You
good, and
know.
she moving around.
Yes.
And we want that quality of life. It's
Right.
just funny how we haven't grown with that concept. So as soon as we start feeling pain, we say it's old age. As soon as something starts, we
Yes,
accept that
yes.
it's old. And pain is not a symptom of old age. I keep telling people this. Pain is not a symptom of old age. And we stop it. And once you're in pain, pain is abnormal. You need to find out what's causing the
What's
pain
that?
and
The
how do I treat the
causation?
pain.
Yes, yes. Okay, before we wrap, Judy, I want you to our rehabilitation center services.
Yes.
Tell us about that before you leave.
All right. So this, as I said, is very new to us.
Yes.
We're still learning. We're still adapting. We're still learning the processes.
Yes.
And so we are going through. So we have a trained mental health nurse who is on our team.
Okay,
now.
good.
And so in order for us to care for these persons, as I said
Yes.
before, they must be stable enough on their medications.
Yes.
And be willing to be a part of the program.
Yes.
So we're not forcing anybody into anything. We're not telling anybody to come drop off your relatives because you can't manage them.
Right.
That's not the situation. We want to help them live normal lives as well. We want them to get jobs. We want them to be able to function
Right.
once they're on their medications and be able to do that in a healthy environment.
Wonderful.
So if you find that, yes, they're on medications, but they're finding it hard to adapt, and we help them through that, right? So that we don't want to keep them. We'll back home.
Right.
And we want them to be functional human beings in society. And one of the funniest things I find, though, Julia, it's not even funny, it's alarming, is that sometimes the way our system is, it's like a blanket treatment. You understand?
Yes.
I'm always an advocate for individualized
Right.
care. So, say for example, somebody comes in and they had a psychotic approach.
Right.
We say they're schizophrenic, and then we start treating them for that. And when you sit down and you talk to these persons and you hear their experience and how it started and when
Right.
it started, it stems from something that is social.
Yes.
And it means that we need to be dealing with some of our problems
Right.
way better
Yes.
than how we're dealing with them. So people do not get to that stage where they have to be diagnosed as being schizophrenic
Right.
or bipolar or whatever. And sometimes they have drug-induced psychosis, and we call it another mental illness, and it's not treated properly. So if you're diagnosed incorrectly, you're going to be treated incorrectly. So our hope is to try and find out how best we can help persons
Yes.
with mental illness, how we can help persons going through stressful situations.
Right.
Grief counseling is something
Yes.
we've started because, as I've always told you, Julia, when you can talk about the process, it makes it easier.
Right.
We like to go to the rum bar. We like to lock up ourselves in our rooms and cry.
Right.
It's the same thing. And then grief is not just for loss of an individual, loss of function.
Yes.
You have been diagnosed with cancer and
Yes.
it's terminal, and you
Yes.
can no longer live the life that you used to live.
Right.
But it's not a death sentence. We can
need to
help
tell-
you
we need to
through.
tell
It is
these
not
persons
a
need
death.
to hear
It's
that.
not a death sentence. There is treatment available.
Yes.
There are options to living a more comfortable life, a
Yes.
little bit longer,
Longer.
with good guidance. It's not a death sentence.
Wonderful.
So we want persons to understand that we've had a number of cases. Persons been diagnosed with cancer and they find out late because not paying attention to the numbers. They're not paying attention to what's happening in their bodies. They don't know what's normal or abnormal for them, and they just go to the doctor when they're just not feeling well, which is not a normal way to live.
Right.
We need to know what's happening to us. I mean, God give us this one tool. If we're not taking care of it, it don't make sense. Everything else around you doesn't make sense. Money doesn't make sense. Work doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Your kids don't make sense. It just doesn't add up when you just don't know.
Wow.
Right? For the rehabilitation center is a number of services, and we are trying to align ourselves with the best professionals who are able to help people. It is impossible, and I would never try it.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
aligning ourselves
Well,
with professionals who are able to offer the best care,
Wonderful.
and we possibly can. And Julia, you know me, I'm always trying to beat the numbers because we want to make sure this is accessible to people.
Yes.
And the truth is, if you can't afford it, talk to us. We'll figure something out. We've done that number of times. We'll send out our rates, and I'll say to the persons when we send out our rates, talk to us.
Yes.
And let us know where you are so we can meet you somewhere. Whether we're gonna meet you halfway, whether we're gonna
You sound like a Fit FM sales marketing.
No,
that's it.
I mean, that's why we align with good people.
Yes.
That's why we're at Fit FM 96.7
That's
people.
right. That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
it's
that's
your
right.
life, and if you
your
want
lifestyle.
music in your life,
Exactly. we have it here. It's your lifestyle, and that is why we have programs like A Gentle Touch of Care, Home Health Care Network.
yeah, you can say that. That's where we're heading. Network.
Yes. And Julie, I want to thank you for coming in this morning. We're going to do this every Monday morning, my people. So you look out, listen out to hear us every Monday morning. If sometimes Julie's going to be in studio, sometimes she's going to be out on location because she has patient on Saturday. You had to rush to the hospital to pick up a patient, or
we had a call.
Yes.
We had a call for a patient, so we had to leave. We were here Saturday,
right? It's our anniversary party. Yes,
and that was awesome.
Yes,
and my staff was here.
Yes.
They were doing. That's another thing. We want to check on your staff. We want to check on your customers. So if you're an organization
and
who
CPR
wants to make sure,
CPR training,
we still do CPR training every month, every second or third Wednesday, depending on where it is in the month, and we do that at our location.
We encourage caregivers who look after babies, especially the basic school, the infant school, all the teachers.
Yeah.
We want all the teachers to be CPR certified.
I mean, I think it's now a requirement.
Okay, good.
I think it's now a requirement. So sometimes they will organize their training.
Right.
Or sometimes if somebody doesn't get to do the training when they're doing the training, they can always come to us.
Love that.
Right. So that is very, very important.
Yes.
So we're still doing the CPR trainings every month. And that's easy to do now, Julia, because once you are interested, we just send you a link. As I tell you, we hardly have anything printed anymore. We need to print some stuff. So what happens if you're interested, you WhatsApp us, we send us the link, you register, and you choose the date from our registration form that you want to come to our registration, and we call you before.
Less paper.
Less paper. Yes. So anything you want from us, you just WhatsApp us or WhatsApp numbers. I didn't give you those, or WhatsApp numbers. 876-409-8543. 409-8543. So that's 876-409-8543 or 876-789-5558. So that's 789-5558. And once you WhatsApp, somebody will respond and they will send you whichever form is needed, whether it's for a course or 9-month practical nursing course or CPR training or even for home care services. We're digitalizing everything now, Julia.
Wonderful.
And if you want to find out more about our school and or nursing empowerment program, that's another one, Julia, for those who are already practical nurses and want to advance, and also if you want to support our organization, because the work that we're doing takes a lot. We have there you can go read about if you want to donate to our organization. There's information on there as well for that to help more people. So we're looking for partners that can help us grow and that can help us impact more people's lives. I mean, when I was out, Julia, we were not able to do our community outreach program that we normally did. And the NIS called me up and it's like, Miss Nurse Bihari, what you doing this? And I was like, we're actually on a break. And it's funny enough, that same year, last year, they gave us an award. Ministry of Labor gave us our award for our involvement in health and wellness. And I thought that was very motivational. So we are back on board with that. We have a list of elderlies and shut-ins that we'll visit based on what they provided us with. And we are willing, as I said, to work with any other organization that wants to partner with us to make sure we can reach as many persons as possible. But we're going to need funding, as I said. So You know, I tell you, we're starting over from
This is
ground up all
faith-based,
over again.
people. Faith-based, faith-based, faith-based.
We're starting over, and it's starting over from ground up is hard because
Yes.
you know where you were,
Yes.
and you know where you want to be, and you know how you want to build out the dreams and the goals and the
Yes, you'll
aspirations.
surpass that. You'll surpass that with
But
God's help. And
God's help,
and
it
you
is
know we
possible.
put God first in everything we do.
Everything
So
we
we're
do.
not worrying and we're not fret.
We just know it's gonna happen.
We know it's gonna happen. As Kevin Downswell sings this year. This year. It's gonna happen this year. It's gonna happen this
I
year.
love that
It's
nuance.
gonna happen this year. So Jody, thank you very much for coming
Thanks,
in. And we
Julia,
do
for
this
having
next
me
and we do
again.
this next Monday morning.
I mean, like,
All right.
it's so surreal.
Well, no, my darling, I know. Thank you very much. This has been a gentle touch of care. Right here on Fit FM 96.7, your life,
We
your
believe
music.
in person-centered care. We take pride in improving the health and quality of life of all our residents. Join me, Jody Marie Behari, Monday mornings at 8 a.m. right here on Fit FM for a gentle approach to a healthier you. That's 8 a.m. and 96.7 your music.